And we've got the first sight of Assassins as they take on Curry, who managed to defeat Hoyk in the opening round. Managed to get the ball across the 22, looking to maintain possession, go round in the outside there. Tom Sadler had a little bite round the outside. Keep the ball in front, looking to manipulate this Curry defence, and it's been splintered now. And again, good tracking back there from Kyle Robertson. Curry, number 2, Rory Steele, captain, experienced sevens player with Heriots and Watsonians. And again, it's another chance for Sadler to have a little bite round the outside. And they do win the penalty. Steele wants to go quickly, takes it up towards the 22-metre line. He's got a chance there to release one of his teammates, but some relentless tackling coming on from Curry. Again, a couple of efforts, great offload. The bouncing ball ends up in the clutches of the Mullaney Park men. They've got a chance through Adam Hall to attack from deep, to get out of their own 22. Open stages of this game. It's been Assassins ball in hand, but now Curry have a chance to demonstrate some of their attacking prowess, especially to Matthew Laidlaw, who got a hat-trick in the opening round, but good defence there from the Assassins.
Yeah, but some really thumping defence by Curry. Before that, you felt the Assassins were bound to score. One huge hit by Alex Harley, the Curry number 10. And Curry did well to keep the Assassins out, but they've got to defend again. Well, done the first part of it, won it, and it's turned over to the Assassins.
Yeah, flat back, and now it's a chance for the Assassins going laterally across the pitch through Josh Holt. And he's fumbled the ball as well, with the try line beckoning, and perhaps a bit of rustiness coming on from the Assassins.
I think so, yes, and maybe just a bit blinkered as well. Went across field, but probably went round a couple of Curry defenders, created space out wide, but opted not to give the pass. And then the ball knocked on with another good tackle by Curry. But you've got to feel that the Assassins should have scored on at least one of those occasions. So credit to Curry for the defence. But as you say, Assassins looking rusty, not to have finished. Is that one of your colleagues there on screen?
He definitely wasn't. Tim Visser enjoying the food village here at the Green Yards. Obviously a decorated Scotland player. I don't know how he manages to maintain that shape, eating food like that. I don't manage that. But the Assassins are going to go in for a first try here, and it was an opportunistic one at that. And they're eventually able to get over through Murray Johnson. The Boroughmuir scrum half, a really good sevens player in his own right, representing Assassin's sevens, and it's them that strike first.
Yes, you felt it was coming. 2 opportunities that they were a little careless with, but the Curry defence could only do so much. And they do go over through Murray Johnston, is very alert.
Conversion not successful for the Assassins, so it remains 5 points to 0. You see there, close quarter action from Murray Johnson, and he gets play back underway, kicks it downfield. Robertson manages to gather the ball, gets it infield. Harley's waiting. Spreads a little bit wider now to try and get some of the speedsters onto the ball. Now it's a foot race in behind. Steele trying to use his arms to manipulate proceedings here. It's just been fumbled forward. Great break from Fraser Sayers. Great footwork. And he stole the march on Rory Steele. Maybe a couple of years ago it might have been more even. But he looked like he had the pace on Rory Steele.
It was a great option to put boot to ball as well. Not a lot of space to play with over on the far side. Nobody at the back for the Assassins, but just at the last moment, ball knocked on.
Ball back in play. Assassins having to attack from deep. Steele, centre field. Going to loop up and interlink and exchange passes with some of the teammates. An outrageous dummy from the 22. And now the knees are up. Options outside. And one of them comes in the shape of Will Aylan, and he's been well challenged, tracking back by Jack Peter from Curry. Defensively, they're putting a lot of effort into this game, Curry. But Johnson goes quickly, now against the grain, over the 22-metre line. Peters does well again in defence, and Curry win the penalty. look to get play back underway relatively sharply, taking it into contact. Robertson trying to clear at the breakdown. Curry now think they pick a gap in the defence, and they're in behind, just can't get those free arms. As Fraser Sayers look to try and release a teammate. And now Peter. Back to Sayers and interlinking with Adam Hall. He's a player who's going to be playing a lot more rugby here in the Green Yards in the weeks to come. For the Southern Knights. Curry again enjoying the penalty. Travelling forward now through Alex Harley. Sayers to Hall. Then to Peter. Robertson taking the ball, interlinking with the teammates, and Adam Hall was lined up well there in defence.
4 quick penalties in a row by the Assassins as well, is not helping their cause.
Got space up on this far side, Curry. Make that 5. Curry slowly but surely making their way up this park. Assassins are gasping and looking to try and find some oxygen from somewhere. They're being tested as Bradshaw now runs acutely at the line. The big paw comes out as well. Looked to offload, kept it in hand. Good option there from the Curry captain. It's been turned over, and it's been then retrieved again, and they squirm over the line, and it is Fraser Sayers to get the try. And good work, and it was all they deserved really after going from their own goal line all the way up the other end.
That was a great try. Interesting to see this one on the replay, because the ball was turned over by the Assassins but somehow came up in Curry hands again. But Curry playing very direct sevens rugby, and the Assassins, you picked it in commentary, they're blowing. They're perhaps not quite up to the speed of this game. I think we're going to see the conversion first before we have a look at the replay.
Assassins 7's 5, Curry 7.
You see the try scorer on your screen there, Fraser Sayers. And there's Curry in possession, and it was that Matt Bradshaw trying to fight his way to line. Ball turned over, it squirted out the back. It's a great pick up and dive over the line.
Yeah, great work from Bradshaw as well. He had the option to offload to Gregor Gray, who was rushing into the scene of the action. He just looked to try and keep the ball, and that breakdown then ensued, which, as the ball was knocked on, not well fumbled fumbled back by the Assassins. It was well capitalised on by Fraser Sayers, who's had a really good first half. And again, it's always interesting with these guest teams to see how they approach the game, how they make up, how they gel. But they've been tested here by what is a relatively under-strength Curry side.
Yeah, we spoke in the first round, Curry defeating Hoyk, and those two sides playing this afternoon in the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup, so unable to send a full squad here. But you wouldn't guess it the way Curry are playing. Just the youngsters throwing everything at it, and credit in particular to their defence in the first half, the first 4 or 5 minutes in particular, managed to hold on. They did concede that 1 try against the Assassins, but should have probably conceded another 2, but some great defence, some big hits going in, and the Assassins just perhaps running out of steam a little towards the end of that first half. They'll be glad to get a breather here at half-time. And Curry taking full advantage of that, and the successful Curry conversion, the difference between the two sides at half-time.
A couple of changes in the Assassins' ranks. Tuimasala and Waqa on for the Assassins. And the sun is now starting to splinter through the clouds here at the Green Yards. The wind hasn't died somewhat, but it's glorious to see the sun out.
It's a little chilly up here in our commentary position. Poor Lee Jones, I think, has just scurried across towards the stand to get a coffee and a heat up. But yes, the sun out, the wind picking up, but it is a lovely day.
Waqa, the ball through the hands, and it's went loose, and it's been hacked forward by Gregor Gray. It's a foot race now back in towards the Assassins 22. Waqa looks to try and go back to his own line. He's been defended well. Sayers then shrugged off in the challenge. And the Assassins now have got a disrupted defence to try and attack. In behind, Gray tried to defend, not able to. Now looking a little bit leggy in the attack, Sam Williams. But the support is there in the form of Surevi Waqa. And the Assassins start the second half in better fashion as to what they finished the first.
And that could have just as easily been a try at the other end. The ball through, and it was actually kicked back towards the Assassins' goal line by one of the Assassins' players, and very nearly picked up by one of the Curry players, but they remained calm. They got the ball to space, and they had the gas to race downfield and score under the posts. This should be the easiest of conversions.
Look at that wind, just take that ball to that left-hand side. As soon as it went through the uprights, Murray Johnson. It's what could be an important 2 points for the Assassins from that try there from Sherevi Waqa.
I felt they needed fresh legs on at half-time, and they've got it through Waqa. Plenty of pace.
The restart. A low trajectory into this stabbing wind. And it bounces off the ground, off the field of play. Referee bring it back for a knock-on. Chance here to test out wide. If Curry can win their scrum, try and get it into the wider channels and really test this Assassin's backline.
Yeah, it's a good chance to attack from the scrum. They'll just look to get this in and out quickly. 2 or 3 quick passes just to stretch the defence across to the side, but
against the head.
Comes out on the Assassin's side, strangely, yes.
Waqa gets it, then Williams squares up, looks to lob it into the path of Vinnie Baker. Interlink in play. Good defence again coming on from Curry. Johnson to Waqa. He straightens up and goes forward. The offload has fallen into the hands of a Curry player.
Curry defence just about stretched its limits there.
Taken quickly. Direct running from the Assassins, who are wanting a little bit more breathing room in this current lead that they hold, and they're going to get it in the corner. Arcing the run towards the post to try and make it a little bit more straightforward for the kicker. But it's a good try there from Will Aylan. He just hugged the touchline, stretched that Curry defence, and you said it, Bruce, it was just looking stretched to its limits, and it was exploited there.
Curry did a huge amount of work in that first half, and it's maybe just beginning to show. A couple of tackles missed, and that's all you really need, and suddenly you're horribly out of shape in defence. And the Assassins, again, you mentioned it's interesting to see how the guest sides gel. It's the time to get them. If you've played a tie, Curry have got themselves eased into the competition and maybe look to catch them cold, but just signs that the Assassins are finding their shape. It's 2 quick-fire tries that really puts them into the ascendancy in this tie.
In this tournament, to go through the later stages, it's about managing your squad as well. And sometimes you maybe don't go full strength at the start against opponents that you feel you could easily defeat, but Assassins now starting to hit their straps as they hear it down the grandstand side here at the Green Yards. They concede the penalty, so Curry will get a chance to try and bite back. 10 points to try and overturn for the duration of this game.
Yes, the Assassins just off feet at the breakdown there. Curry really do need to strike next.
Through they go, and they manage to pincer through Alex Harley, and he's wheeling his way towards the line. And what's important as well is it'll be underneath the posts. Makes a conversion attempt a little bit more straightforward. We've got a game on here.
Yes, Curry keeping this one interesting. Huge crowd already inside the ground here. The Green Yards enjoying this one in the sunshine. That conversion goes through.
It is an excellent crowd here as well. Really well attended from our commentary position. Some empty seats in the stand, but people now out enjoying the sun. Difficult to find a spot in the surrounding areas here at the Green Yards. Foot Village in behind, well attended as Curry get play back underway. Josh Holt plucks it from the sky. That big arm trying to keep Curry at bay. Johnson tries to kick downfield, but he's just been bundled into touch by Adam Hall.
That was another great tackle by Adam Hall, because that looked dangerous. It was good work by the Assassins. Kept the ball alive. You see big strong players in there. Used to offload.
I do see James King in there as well. Played his time here at Melrose. Rolling back the years. Down in number 2 for the Assassins. Good to see some of these familiar faces still gracing the field of play.
Eric Man originally.
Adam Hall over the 10-metre line. King puts himself into contact. Concede the penalty. Curry want to go quickly. They know that a score here could see them into the quarter-finals to play the winners of the next tie, Durham Uni versus Gala. Chipped over the top. A chance here for Alex Harley. If he can win the foot race, does he get the bounce of the ball? He's plucked it off. He's over the try line and he gets it down, and Curry take the lead. 19 points to 17, they now lead. And it was innovative work from Alex Harley.
That was a great option again. I was just about to say the Assassins' defence coming up really quick to put pressure on, and Harley alert to the opportunity that the space was in behind. Nobody at the back for the Assassins. It was just a delicate chip over the top. Still had a huge amount of work to do. Conversion.
It's kissed the upright, and it's the last play. So it's Curry who make their way through to the quarter-finals. And it was just that last-minute play, Bruce, that sees Curry through.
Yeah, well, they never gave up in that game. I mean, I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times, but credit, first of all, Curry's defence to keep them in that game in the opening stages, the first half in particular.